I'll spite.
What if I told you that the reason you stumble over your words in English, it really has nothing to do with your vocabulary? Like, what if the problem is not that you need to memorize more words, but simply that you are missing the structural rhythm of the language?
Right, the rhythm. That is such an important point.
Hello, and a very warm welcome to you. Thank you so much for joining our conversation today. We are going to explore a really fascinating topic, just sitting down like friends having coffee.
Yes, exactly. Grab a cup of coffee or tea and let's just relax.
We are looking at the secret tools that the greatest speakers in history have used to sound confident, persuasive, and perfectly clear.
Hello, everyone. I am just thrilled to be here. This is a topic I'm incredibly passionate about.
Yeah.
Many adult learners share a very specific, a very frustrating feeling. They study grammar rules for years.
Right, years of textbooks.
Exactly. They read books, they listen to the news, and they build this huge mental dictionary of English words. But the moment they open their mouths to speak, especially in a stressful situation like a business meeting or a job interview, they just freeze.
They completely freeze.
Yeah, all those words suddenly disappear. It's like a blank screen.
I hear this all the time from learners.
Yeah.
All the time. They say, my sentences feel messy.
Right.
Or they say, I know what I want to say in my head, but when it comes out of my mouth, it just sounds like a disaster.
Yeah, and that is so relatable.
And because it sounds messy, they feel shy. They feel nervous. They start to believe that speaking clearly is some kind of magical talent.
Like a superpower you have to be born with.
Exactly.
Yep.
They think that you are either born with the gift of public speaking or you are not. And there's nothing you can do about it.
But I want to tell you right now, that is a complete myth.
A complete myth.
Yes, speaking beautifully is not a magical talent. It is a highly specific mechanical skill.
Mechanical skill, I like that.
Yeah, think about it like building a house. If you have the right tools and you understand the blueprint, you can build a solid, beautiful structure.
Right.
And if you do not have the tools, your house will fall down no matter how many expensive bricks you bought.
Oh, wow. The bricks are the vocabulary words.
Exactly. You can buy the most expensive vocabulary words in the world, but without the blueprint, it's just a pile of bricks.
So today, we are going to give you that blueprint. We are going to look at the hidden architecture of language.
I love that phrase, the hidden architecture of language.
Our mission today is to take these ancient, really powerful tools of speaking and apply them directly to your daily English habit. But, before we get into the tools themselves, we need to establish the foundation of how you practice.
Right, because knowing the tools is useless if you never actually pick them up.
Exactly. And this brings us to the most important rule of our entire discussion today. We call it the 10-minute habit.
The 10-minute habit, yeah.
If you want to transform from a nervous speaker into a confident speaker, you do not need to study for 3 hours a day.
No, absolutely not. In fact, studying for 3 hours can actually cause your brain to just shut down.
Yeah, get too tired to absorb anything.
Right. The alternative is small, steady progress. You only need 10 minutes of practice.
Just 10 minutes.
Just 10. But, and this is the important part, it must be 10 minutes every single day.
Every day. Consistency.
And it must be 10 minutes of speaking out loud, not reading silently, not listening, speaking.
Speaking into the air.
Yes. When you speak out loud, you are building muscle memory in your mouth, your lips, and your tongue.
Wow, so it's a physical exercise.
Exactly. You are also building neural pathways in your brain. Consistency is much, much more powerful than intensity.
That makes perfect sense. I mean, 10 minutes a day is something anyone can manage. It is just a tiny fraction of your morning.
Absolutely.
So to prove how easy this is, we're going to start practicing right now.
Yeah.
We want this conversation to be very interactive.
Yes, we do.
So if you are listening right now, here is your first activity. I am going to ask you a simple question, and I want you to answer it out loud.
It might feel a little strange, right, if you are sitting alone in your room or maybe walking down the street.
Yeah, you might feel a bit silly, but just trust the process. Speak your answer into the air. Here's the question. What time did you wake up today? Say it out loud. We'll give you 5 seconds right now.
Take your time. Speak it out loud.
Okay, perfect.
Wonderful. See how simple that is.
Yeah.
For example, I woke up at exactly 6:30 this morning.
Early bird. I woke up at 7.
Nice. The time itself does not matter. The physical act of pushing the air out of your lungs and forming the English words, That is what matters.
Right. You have already started your habit today just by doing that.
You really have.
So now that we have started the engine, let's jump into our first major concept. We need to talk about the foundation of thought and language.
Yes, let's do it.
I think a lot of people view language simply as a delivery truck.
A delivery truck.
Yeah, like they think, I have this pure idea in my mind, and I just load that idea into the English language truck, and I drive it to the other person.
Right. That is the traditional view, yes. Communication as a simple transfer of data.
Exactly.
But cognitive science tells us something completely different and actually much more profound. Oh. Language is not just the truck that delivers the idea. Language is the factory that builds the idea in the first place.
Wait, really?
Yes. Language actually forms our thoughts.
Are you saying that without language, we cannot even have certain thoughts?
Essentially, yes. Think about a painter.
Okay.
If a painter only has 3 colors on their palette, say red, blue, and yellow, they can only paint a certain type of picture.
Right, a very basic one.
But if you give them 50 different colors, their painting becomes incredibly complex and detailed.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
The colors do not just express the painting, the colors determine what kind of painting is even possible. Language is the exact same way. Without words, our thoughts are just, well, vague, foggy emotions.
Just feelings.
Right. When you learn to use language better, you are not just learning how to talk, you are literally learning how to think.
That is a staggering concept.
Yeah.
So, to train your language is to train your mind.
Yes.
When an English learner is struggling to construct a sentence, they aren't just doing a language task, they are doing deep mental work. They are stretching their brain's capacity to process reality.
Absolutely. And when you master this, you develop something called linguistic intelligence.
Linguistic intelligence. Okay, let's unpack that.
Sure. So when most people hear the word intelligence, they think of, math or science.
Yeah, solving complex equations. Einstein on a chalkboard.
Exactly. But linguistic intelligence is different. It is the ability to choose the exact right words to connect with another human being.
I want to clarify something here because this is important for our listeners.
Yeah.
Does linguistic intelligence mean using huge, complicated words to sound smart?
Oh, definitely not.
Because that is a trap many learners fall into. They try to memorize these giant words from the dictionary, and they just end up sounding unnatural.
I'm so glad you brought that up. No, linguistic intelligence is absolutely not about using big words. In fact, it is often the exact opposite.
The opposite.
Yes. True linguistic intelligence is the ability to make complex ideas feel simple.
Make complex ideas feel simple.
Right. It is about empathy. It is understanding how the listener's brain works and organizing your words so the listener feels completely understood.
So sometimes the smartest speakers use the simplest vocabulary.
Exactly.
That is a huge relief. So linguistic intelligence is not just for politicians giving grand speeches, it is an everyday tool.
It really is. It is for a manager explaining a new project to their team so that everyone feels motivated. It is for a parent explaining a life lesson to a child. It is for you making a joke with a new friend at a coffee shop. It is the art of human connection.
Let's connect this right back to our listener right now.
Good idea.
Let's do another quick activity. Think about your own life for a second. Why are you putting so much effort into learning English?
Yeah, what's your reason?
Are you learning English to help your career, or are you learning it just for fun and travel? Take 5 seconds right now and say your answer out loud.
Say it out loud. We're listening.
Okay, awesome.
Whether your motivation is professional or personal, linguistic intelligence is the key that unlocks your goals.
Absolutely.
Now, thousands of years ago, the ancient Greeks and Romans understood this perfectly.
Oh, we are going back in time, yeah.
Yes, little history. They created a specific system for teaching this intelligence. They called it the trivium.
The trivium, that translates to the 3 ways, right? Or the 3 steps you're learning.
Exactly.
So what is the first step?
The first step is grammar.
Oh, no.
I know. The moment we say the word grammar, people start sweating.
Yeah, it brings back bad memories of school tests and red pens.
But grammar is just the physics of language. It is the rules of order.
Order.
It makes the invisible laws of language visible. It shows us how a noun interacts with a verb.
So grammar is just the basic building blocks. So you had to have the bricks to build a house.
Right.
What comes after grammar?
The second step is logic.
Logic.
Yes. Logic is the reasoning process. It is how you take those grammatical building blocks and connect them together so that they actually make sense.
So logic ensures that your ideas are rational.
Exactly. It helps you think clearly and avoid contradictions.
Okay, so grammar provides the bricks, and logic provides the blueprint for how the bricks should be stacked.
Right.
But a house made of just bricks and blueprints is pretty boring. What is the third step?
The third step is rhetoric.
Rhetoric.
And this is where the magic happens. Rhetoric is the art of beautiful, persuasive expression.
Beautiful expression.
Yes. Once you have your ordered, logical thoughts, rhetoric is how you decorate the house. It is the lighting, the paint, the welcoming front door. It is how you package your ideas so that the world actually wants to listen to them.
This is a massive realization for English learners. Because think about it, most adult learners already study grammar endlessly.
Endlessly.
And because they are adults, they already possess logic. They know how to reason.
Exactly.
The missing piece of the puzzle, the reason they feel their sentences are messy, is that no one ever taught them rhetoric.
Precisely. We spend all our time on the rules and no time on the art.
Wow.
But today, we're leaving the basic rules behind. We are focusing entirely on rhetoric. We're going to teach you how to package your simple words into beautiful, confident structures.
That is so exciting. But before we move on to our first specific tool, let's have the listener practice this powerful word. It is a great word for mouth muscle memory.
It really is.
Let's say the word rhetoric together. Repeat it out loud after me.
Rhetoric.
Rhetoric.
Beautiful. Say it one more time. Rhetoric.
Perfect. Now, let's open up our toolbox.
Let's do it.
The first secret tool of rhetoric is one of the oldest and most effective psychological tricks in human history. It is called the rule of three. The rule of three. This means grouping things together in sets of three.
Yes.
But why three? Why is this specific number so magical?
It all comes down to cognitive psychology, really, and pattern recognition.
Okay.
The human brain is a pattern-seeking machine.
Yeah,
We are constantly looking for order in a chaotic world.
that makes sense. We like predictability.
Exactly. When it comes to numbers, 1 is just an isolated event.
Right.
2 is a pair, but it still feels like a coincidence. It feels unfinished.
Unfinished. Like waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yes. But 3 establishes a pattern. It has a clear beginning, a middle, and an end.
A beginning, a middle, and an end.
When the brain hears 3 items, it feels a sense of deep satisfaction and completion.
Wow. 3 feels solid. Like a triangle or a stool with 3 legs. It can stand up on its own.
That is a perfect image, and history is absolutely full of the rule of 3.
Really?
Oh, yes. The greatest leaders and writers used it constantly because it bypasses the critical, busy part of the listener's brain and goes straight into long-term memory.
It's like a shortcut to the brain.
Exactly. Think about the Roman general Julius Caesar.
Okay.
After a very fast, successful military campaign, he sent a message back to Rome. He didn't write a long, boring report.
You didn't send a giant spreadsheet.
No, he did not. He wrote 3 simple words. I came, I saw, I conquered.
Oh, I came, I saw, I conquered. It is incredibly punchy.
Right.
It tells a complete narrative. First, the arrival. Second, the observation of the problem. Third, the decisive victory.
Yes. And consider American history. One of the most famous phrases in the Declaration of Independence uses the exact same psychological trick.
Which one?
When defining human rights, it says life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Life, liberty, happiness. It has a very satisfying rhythm.
It does.
But I have to play the skeptic here for a moment.
Please do.
Why not 2 things? Or why not 4? Why is 3 the absolute limit?
That is the perfect question. Let's test it out. Let's try the same quote with only 2 items.
Okay, let's hear it.
Listen to how this feels. Everyone has the right to life and liberty.
It feels abrupt.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, it feels like you inhaled, but you forgot to exhale. I am just sitting here waiting for you to finish the sentence.
Right. 2 feels incomplete. Now let's try 4 items. Let's add something else.
Okay, let's try 4.
Everyone has the right to life, liberty, property, and the pursuit of happiness.
Okay, now it is starting to sound like a legal document. Or a shopping list at the supermarket.
Exactly. It loses the magic, and this relates to working memory.
Working memory.
Yes. The human brain can only hold a very small amount of new information in its active memory at one time.
Oh, I see.
Once you go past 3 items, the brain has to start using extra energy to categorize the list. It becomes a chore to listen to.
So 3 is the exact sweet spot.
The absolute sweet spot.
That's right.
It is enough to prove a pattern, but small enough to require zero effort to remember.
I can see how powerful this is. Let's have our listener practice this cognitive rhythm right now.
Yes, let's get you speaking.
We're going to do another activity. I want you to think about your morning routine. What are 3 specific things you do every single morning?
3 things.
Put them in a sequence of 3 and say them out loud. For example, you might say, I wake up, I drink coffee, I read the news.
Simple and clear.
Now it is your turn. Take 5 seconds and say your 3 things out loud.
Go ahead.
Okay, excellent.
Notice how balanced that feels in your mouth when you say it. You have created a miniature story.
How can our listeners use this in a practical daily situation?
Well, let's say you're at work.
Okay, let's say I am an English learner and I have to give a quick update in a video meeting at work. Usually I just start talking and rambling and I feel messy.
Right.
How does the rule of 3 help me?
It will completely change how people perceive you in meetings.
Really? Just by using 3?
Yes. Before you open your mouth, group your update into 3 points. When it is your turn to speak, you say, "Good morning. Today, I want to cover 3 things."
Oh, I like that. Setting expectations.
Exactly. First, we will review yesterday's data. Second, we will look at the client feedback. And third, we will decide on the next steps.
Wow. If I heard a colleague speak like that, I would immediately think, this person is highly organized, they are confident, and they are fully in control.
Exactly.
Even if they have a strong accent or make a small grammar mistake, the structure makes them sound brilliant.
It provides the illusion of total mastery. The listener's brain relaxes because it knows exactly what to expect.
Because you promised 3 things, and you are delivering 3 things.
It is professional and focused.
That is so practical. Okay, let's add another tool to our toolbox.
This one is one of my favorites.
This one builds on the idea of rhythm, but in a much more emotional way. It is a rhetorical device called anaphora.
Anaphora. It sounds like a complex medical term, I know.
It does sound a bit scary.
But it is actually a very simple, elegant concept. Anaphora simply means starting consecutive sentences or consecutive parts of a sentence with the exact same words.
Starting sentences with the same words. Now, wait a minute.
I know what you're going to say.
I know many English learners who have been told by their teachers that repeating words is a bad thing.
Yes.
Teachers always say, use a thesaurus, vary your vocabulary. If you repeat words, it means your vocabulary is weak.
That is a very, very common piece of advice in language classes. And it is true if the repetition is an accident.
If it's an accident.
Right. If you keep repeating the word good because you do not know the words excellent or fantastic, that is weak vocabulary. The anaphora is different. Anaphora is intentional repetition. You are choosing to repeat the words on purpose to create a psychological effect.
What kind of psychological effect does starting the same way create?
It creates a rising tide.
A rising tide.
Think about waves crashing on a beach. The foreign wave comes in, then the second wave hits a little harder, then a third wave even stronger.
Oh, I can picture that.
When you repeat the beginning of a sentence, you are building emotional momentum. You are creating anticipation in the listener's brain.
Anticipation. They know what's coming, but they want to hear how it ends.
Exactly. They start to feel the rhythm, and their brain actually releases a tiny bit of dopamine when the pattern repeats just as they expected.
Wow. Biological responses to grammar.
Yes. It grabs their attention and refuses to let go.
That is a brilliant way to explain it. It is like the drum beat in a song slowly getting louder.
Yes.
Can you give us a famous example of anaphora in action?
The most famous example in modern history is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech in Washington.
Ah, yes.
He did not just state his vision for the future one time and move on. He used anaphora. He repeated the exact same phrase to build a rising tide of emotion.
How did he do it?
He said, "I have a dream," and then he said it again, "I have a dream that one day," and again, "I have a dream."
Just hear you quote that, it gives me a physical reaction. It gives you chills.
It gives everyone chills because of the repetition takes a personal, isolated thought, one man's dream, and through the rhythmic pounding of the words, it turns it into a collective vision.
The repetition built the energy until the entire crowd was feeling the dream together.
Exactly. Are there other historical examples you can think of?
Actually, yes. Think of Winston Churchill during World War II.
Oh, a perfect example.
It was 1940. The situation in Europe was desperate. Britain was facing a massive threat. He needed a rhetorical tool that communicated absolute, unbreakable stubbornness.
Stubbornness.
He needed to show the enemy that the country would never surrender. So he used anaphora.
Let's hear it.
He said, "We shall fight on the beaches, we shall fight on the landing grounds, we shall fight in the fields and in the streets, we shall fight in the hills, we shall never surrender."
We shall fight, we shall fight, we shall fight.
You can literally feel the stubbornness in the structure of the sentence.
Yes, you can.
The repetition is like a hammer hitting a nail into a piece of wood.
Yeah.
It will not move.
Exactly. The structure is the message. The repetition proves the determination.
It's so powerful.
I want our listener to feel this momentum in their own body right now. We are going to practice this feeling of a rising tide.
Yes, let's do an activity. If you're listening, we are going to build an anaphora together.
Join in.
I want you to repeat these sentences out loud after me and try to feel the energy building with each sentence. Ready? Repeat after me. Every day I learn.
Go ahead.
Every day I grow.
Say it out loud.
Every day I try.
Beautiful. When you actually say it out loud, you realize it does not feel like a mistake.
No, it doesn't.
It does not feel like you just forgot your vocabulary words. It feels like music.
That is a beautiful realization. Intentional repetition is music. You are playing the English language like a piano.
Yes, you are.
You are guiding the listener's emotions through rhythm. This is so empowering for a learner because it means you can create a massive emotional impact using only very basic, simple words.
Words like every day, learn, and grow.
Exactly. You do not need a university degree in English literature to sound powerful. You just need to know how to stack simple words effectively.
Stack them with purpose.
Now let's look at another tool that also involves structure, but instead of focusing on repeating words, it focuses on grammar.
Yes, this tool is called parallel syntax, or the art of balance.
Parallel syntax. In geometry, parallel lines are two lines that run perfectly alongside each other and never cross. They match perfectly.
Right.
Does this mean our sentences need to match perfectly?
Yes, exactly. Parallel syntax means keeping the grammatical shape of your sentence balanced and equal.
Balanced and equal, okay.
If you are making a list of actions or ideas, every item in that list should use the exact same grammatical structure.
To understand why balance is good, I think we need to feel what imbalance feels like. What happens when a sentence is not balanced?
Oh, it's rough. When a sentence lacks parallel syntax, it is called faulty parallelism.
Faulty parallelism.
And it is incredibly jarring to the brain. Listen carefully to this messy example. She likes reading, cooking, and to jog.
Ouch.
Right.
Reading, cooking, and to jog.
That physically hurts my ears.
It really does. It feels like I was walking down a smooth sidewalk, and suddenly I tripped and fell over a rock at the end.
Tripping over a rock is the perfect metaphor. Your brain literally tripped over the grammar.
Why did it do that?
Let's look at why. The word reading ends in ing.
Yes.
The word cooking ends in ing.
Yes.
So unconsciously, your brain has recognized a pattern. It expects the third item to also be an ing word.
Right. I'm waiting for another ing.
But suddenly you changed the rules. You used an infinitive verb to jog. The brain's expectation was broken.
So to fix it, we simply make all three verbs a match. She likes reading, cooking, and jogging.
Exactly. Reading, cooking, jogging, the verbs are perfectly parallel.
That feels so much smoother.
It does. Now, here is the secret behind why this is so important for persuasion and clarity. It involves something called cognitive load.
Cognitive load. That just means how much mental effort your brain has to use to process information, right?
Correct. The human brain is efficient. It wants to use as little energy as possible.
It's lazy, basically.
Essentially, yes. When you speak in messy, unbalanced sentences, the listener's brain has to stop, translate the weird grammar, figure out what you meant, and then catch up to what you're saying next.
You are forcing them to do extra mental work.
Exactly. But when your sentences are perfectly balanced, the grammatical structure is predictable.
Predictable is good.
Very good. The listener's brain does zero work to decode the grammar, which means 100% of their brain power goes toward understanding and agreeing with your actual idea.
That is incredible. By making the grammar balanced, you are literally making it easier for the other person to agree with you.
Yes. You are removing friction from the communication. You are building a smooth highway for your thoughts to travel directly into their mind.
A smooth highway.
Yeah.
I love that. Let's test our listener on this concept. Let's see if they can fix a bumpy road.
Oh, this will be fun.
Time for an activity. I'm going to give you a messy, unbalanced sentence. Listen carefully and notice where your brain trips over the rock.
Get ready to fix it out loud.
Here is the messy sentence. I want to sing, I want to dance, and acting. Take 5 seconds. Figure out how to balance that sentence and say the correct version out loud.
Go ahead. Fix the rock.
Did you find the balance?
The correct parallel version would be I want to sing, I want to dance, and I want to act.
You keep the I want to structure consistent for all 3 items.
Or you could make it even tighter by just balancing the verbs. I want to sing, dance, and act.
Both versions are completely parallel and smooth. I encourage everyone listening to use this in their 10-minute habit.
Yes, please do.
Tomorrow morning, when you are speaking out loud, try to formulate 3 daily goals using perfectly parallel grammar. It will train your brain to think in balance structures.
Now that we have covered balance, let's return to the concept of repetition.
Okay, what kind of repetition this time?
We talked about anaphora, which is repeating the beginning of a sentence. Now we are going to learn its mirror image. This tool is called epistrophe.
Epistrophe. Okay, so if anaphora is repeating the start, epistrophe must be repeating the exact same words at the very end of successive sentences or clauses.
You figured it out perfectly.
But is it really that different? The psychological effect, I mean. Repetition is repetition, isn't it?
Not to the human brain, actually. Repeating the beginning of a sentence builds anticipation. It is like an engine revving up.
Okay, an engine revving.
But repeating the end of a sentence relies on a cognitive bias known as the anchoring effect.
Anchoring effect.
The last thing a person hears is the thing that rings in their ears. It leaves a heavy, lasting impact.
I see.
If anaphora is a rising wave, epistrophe is a deep, heavy drum beat finalizing a thought. Boom, boom, boom. It forces the listener to remember that specific final idea.
A heavy drum beat. That makes sense. Can you show us what this looks like in practice?
The most iconic example in American history comes from Abraham Lincoln.
The Gettysburg Address.
Yes, he was speaking at Gettysburg during the Civil War. The country was divided, and he needed to remind everyone what the core foundation of their democracy was.
Right.
He needed to anchor the entire speech on the concept of the citizens. So he described the government as a government of the people, by the people, for the people.
Of the people, by the people, for the people. You really feel the weight of that.
You do.
The people is the most important concept, so he puts it at the absolute end of the phrase and hits it 3 times like a drum.
Think about the alternative. He could have used normal standard grammar. He could have said, a government by and for the people.
Which is perfectly correct English.
Yes, but it has absolutely no emotional weight. It sounds like a boring textbook. Epistrophe takes those simple words and makes them immortal.
Let's have the listener try this out. Let's practice hitting that heavy drum beat at the end of a sentence.
This is a great exercise.
Think about the people you love the most. Your family, your children, or your closest friends. We're going to build an epistrophe about them.
Say it with feeling.
Repeat after me out loud. And really emphasize the word them at the end of each phrase. Ready? I cook for them.
Repeat it.
I work for them.
Let it ring.
I care for them.
Notice how that feels.
Wow. When you say it like that, words as boring as cook and work suddenly feel deeply emotional and poetic.
That is the highest level of linguistic intelligence, taking the mundane, everyday vocabulary of an English learner and elevating it into art through structural placement.
It really proves that you don't need a huge vocabulary to sound profound.
Not at all.
I am learning so much today. Our toolbox is getting full, but I know we have a few more powerful tricks to cover.
We do. Let's move on to something completely different.
Let's talk about the power of opposites. I believe the technical term for this is antithesis.
Antithesis, yes.
Yes.
The prefix anti means opposite or against. Antithesis is a truly beautiful rhetorical device.
What exactly is it?
It is the act of putting 2 completely opposite ideas right next to each other, balanced perfectly within the same sentence.
Why is putting opposites together so effective? What does that do to the listener's brain?
It capitalizes on how human perception works. We understand the universe through contrast.
Contrast.
Yes. We only understand what light is because we have experienced darkness. We only know what hot is because we know cold.
Oh, that makes sense.
By placing 2 contrasting ideas right next to each other, you highlight the extreme difference between them.
It's like a visual contrast. If you take a white piece of paper and put it on a light gray table, it's hard to see the edges.
Right, it blends in.
But if you put that same white paper on a pitch black table, the white paper looks incredibly bright and sharp. The contrast defines the object.
That is a perfect analogy. Antithesis provides a black background for your ideas to shine brightly against.
A black background for your ideas.
And again, history provides the best examples. Think of Neil Armstrong, the first human to step onto the surface of the moon.
Oh, this is a famous one.
As his boot touched the dust, he spoke a sentence that was heard by millions of people on Earth. He said, "That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind."
One small step, one giant leap. The contrast is staggering.
It is.
And he pairs it with another contrast. A man versus mankind.
Yeah.
An individual versus the entire human species.
Exactly. He is taking a tiny, insignificant physical action, just moving his foot a few inches and contrasting it with the massive evolutionary milestone it represents.
What if he hadn't used antithesis?
Well, if he had just said, "I took a step and it is a very big deal for humanity," it would be accurate, but it would be entirely forgettable.
Sure.
The antithesis makes it legendary.
Are there other examples of this kind of contrast?
Yes, the medieval Persian poet Sadi used antithesis beautifully to describe human nature. He wrote, "In peace you long for war, and in war you long for peace."
Wow, peace and war. War and peace. It creates a loop of opposites that perfectly describes how humans are never satisfied with their current situation.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Let's do an activity based on this concept of opposites in our listeners' daily lives.
I will lead this one. Listener, think about your own daily habits. We have two opposite types of people in the world.
Which are you?
Are you a morning person who loves to wake up early when the sun rises? Or are you a night owl who has the most energy late at night when the moon is out? Take 5 seconds and say your answer out loud.
Take a few seconds to answer that.
Okay, great.
That is a fun way to think about contrast. Let's push our listener a little further. Let's try to actually build a sentence using antithesis.
Okay, what's the topic?
Let's create a sentence about learning the English language.
Perfect. Let's gather our contrasting ingredients. When you start learning English, it feels incredibly difficult. You know nothing.
Right, it's hard.
But if you practice consistently for years, eventually it becomes natural and easy. So our first pair of opposites is hard and easy.
Hard and easy, got it.
Our second pair of opposites is beginning and end.
We have our black and white contrast. Now let's put them into a balanced syntax.
Let's see what you come up with.
How about this? Learning English is hard in the beginning, but easy in the end.
That is a textbook antithesis. Hard in the beginning, balances perfectly on the scale with easy in the end.
It feels very balanced.
It creates a satisfying contrast and it delivers a very encouraging message.
Let's have the listener practice saying this balanced sentence. Repeat it out loud with me and feel the balance of the opposites in your mouth. Learning English is hard in the beginning, but easy in the end.
Let them feel that balance.
Okay, good. Saying these sentences out loud really does make you feel like a philosopher.
It really
It
does.
makes you feel intelligent simply because the structure is so sound.
Exactly.
We have time for a few more quick, fun rhetorical tricks before we synthesize all of this and talk about how to optimize our learning process.
Yes, let's do a couple of fast ones.
What are some faster, punchier tools?
There are two fun repetition tricks that are very easy to use. The first one is called epizeuxis.
Epizeuxis. That is quite a word.
It is an old Greek word, but the concept is very simple. It means immediate repetition.
Immediate.
You repeat a single word right away, back to back to back, with absolutely 0 words in between.
Just saying the same word 3 times in a row, like a broken record, what is the purpose of that?
Emotion, pure intense emotion.
Really?
Yes. When we are overwhelmed by a feeling, our brain stops worrying about grammar and just fires the most important word like a machine gun.
Oh, I see.
For example, if you are incredibly frustrated by someone who is talking too much without saying anything useful, you might just sigh and say, words, words, words.
Ah, right. Or if I am eating the best dessert I have ever had in my life, my brain might short circuit and I just say, delicious, delicious, delicious.
Exactly.
It shows that I am so overwhelmed by the taste
Yeah.
that I cannot even form a proper sentence.
The repetition acts as an emotional amplifier. Now, the second click trick is very similar, but slightly modified. It is called diacope.
Diacope.
This is repetition with a tiny break. You repeat a word, but you put just 1 or 2 words in between.
So the repeated words are very close to each other, but not touching. Like 2 magnets with a piece of paper in between.
Perfect analogy. Diacope gives the phrase a bouncy, urgent rhythm.
Give you an example of that.
Well, if you are at a sporting event, cheering for a runner to go faster, you wouldn't just say run, you would use diacope and say run, runner, run.
Run, runner, run.
Yeah.
It definitely has a balance to it. It sounds urgent.
Mhm.
Let's have the listener practice the first trick, the immediate repetition right now.
Yes. Listener, take a moment and identify how you are feeling right now in this exact second.
How do you feel?
Are you feeling happy? Are you relaxed? Are you curious? Are you tired? Pick one adjective.
Just one word.
Now, I want you to say it out loud 3 times in a row and inject as much emotion into it as you can. Like this. Happy, happy, happy. Okay, now it's your turn. We'll give you 5 seconds.
Let's hear that emotion.
Excellent.
Now, we have spent a lot of time praising repetition today, but we must be very careful. There is a dark side to repetition.
A dark side, yes.
There is a specific type of repetition that you should avoid at all costs.
Ah, yes. The dreaded tautology.
Tautology, what is that?
While tools like anaphora and epizeuxis use intentional repetition for structural and emotional power, a tautology is a cognitive failure.
A failure.
A tautology is when you repeat the meaning of an idea unnecessarily, using different words.
Repeating the meaning without adding any new information. Can you give us an example?
Have you ever heard someone say, "Look at that round circle"?
Round circle, yes, I have heard that. But wait, by definition, all circles are round? You don't need the adjective round?
Exactly. The word round adds 0 new data to the sentence. It is cognitive redundancy. Or someone might say, "I saw a tiny, small, little bug."
Tiny, small, and little all mean the exact same thing.
I have to admit, I see English learners do this constantly.
And I understand why. When you are nervous and you are desperately searching your brain for the right vocabulary word, you panic.
Yes, panic sets in.
So you just throw out 3 different adjectives, hoping that one of them is right. You might say, it was a big, large, huge problem.
It is a very natural defense mechanism when learning a language. We throw words at the problem, like throwing mud at a wall, hoping something sticks.
Hoping something sticks, yeah.
But this is where linguistic intelligence comes in. A tautology weakens your message. When the listener's brain hears big, large, huge, it actually loses respect for the speaker.
It sounds amateurish.
It is much more powerful to pause, select one strong word, and deliver it with confidence. Avoid the round circles.
That is a fantastic piece of advice. Less is often more, as long as the structure is strong.
Absolutely.
Well, we have covered an incredible amount of ground today. We started with a trivium and linguistic intelligence. We covered the magic of 3s. We built rising tides with anaphora, balanced our grammar with parallel syntax, anchored our endings with epistrophe, and highlighted contrasts with antithesis.
It is a full toolbox.
But having a toolbox in your garage does not build a house. We need to talk about implementation.
Yes, how do we use this?
How do we synthesize all of this information? How can an adult learner optimize the 4 main aspects of language learning: reading, writing, listening, and speaking, to actually use these rhetorical tools?
Let's break them down one by one.
How should an English learner change their approach to reading and listening? Usually when I listen to an English podcast or read an article, my only goal is to find vocabulary words I don't know and translate them.
You need to elevate your goal. You need to become a pattern detective.
A pattern detective? I like the sound of that.
Instead of just looking for isolated vocabulary words, I want you to start listening for the invisible architecture. When you watch a movie or listen to the news, try to spot the rule of 3. Try to hear the anaphora.
So when the politician on TV says, "We will build, we will grow, we will succeed," instead of just translating the verbs, I should recognize, hey, that is anaphora and the rule of 3 combined.
Exactly. And the amazing thing about becoming a pattern detective is that your listening comprehension will skyrocket.
Why is that?
Because once your brain recognizes the pattern early in the sentence, it stops struggling to translate every single word, and it just rides the wave of the structure. You can predict where the speaker is going.
That makes reading and listening sound like a fun game. What about writing? How do we use these tools when we sit down to write?
I recommend keeping a small journal. Just write a few sentences every evening, but do not write quickly.
Take our time.
Use writing as your safe laboratory. This is where you can experiment with these tools without the pressure of a real-time conversation. Take 5 minutes to deliberately write one perfectly balanced sentence. Craft a sentence using opposites.
So writing is where we measure the wood and cut it carefully so that later we can build a house quickly.
Yes, exactly. Which brings us to the final and most crucial aspect, speaking.
Speaking, the hardest part.
Writing is the laboratory, but speaking is the performance. And this brings us right back to the golden rule we established at the beginning of our discussion.
The 10-minute habit.
The 10-minute habit. This is how you conquer your fear. You must speak out loud for 10 minutes every single day to build the muscle memory in your mouth and the neural pathways in your brain.
But learners always ask me, who am I supposed to talk to? I don't live in an English-speaking country. I don't have a practice partner.
You do not need a partner. The goal of the 10-minute habit is not conversation. The goal is vocalization.
Just vocalization.
You can speak to yourself in the mirror while you are brushing your teeth. You can speak out loud while you are cooking dinner or washing the dishes.
What exactly should they talk about while doing the dishes?
Narrate your life using the rhetorical tools. Practice the rule of 3 on your dinner plate. Say, tonight I am eating chicken, rice, and vegetables. Practice anaphora with your chores. I will clean the kitchen, I will sweep the floor, I will wash the dishes.
So you are taking these grand historical rhetorical devices and applying them to boring daily tasks.
Yes. Because if you can balance a sentence perfectly while talking about washing the dishes, you will automatically balance your sentences when you are giving a high-pressure presentation at work.
It becomes second nature.
Exactly. Your brain will naturally fall back on the structure it has practiced hundreds of times. You won't feel shy or messy because your mouth already knows the rhythm.
This is incredibly motivating. It demystifies the entire process. It takes the magic out of public speaking and replaces it with manageable daily mechanics.
Let's do one final activity to lock this habit in place.
This is the most important activity of the day. A habit requires a specific time and place, or it will never happen.
Listener, I want you to make a commitment to yourself right now. Look at your schedule for tomorrow. What exact time will you dedicate to your 10 minutes of speaking out loud?
When will it be?
Will it be at 7 a.m. while you make your coffee? Will it be at 7 p.m. while you commute home in your car? Decide on the time and say your promise out loud into the air right now. Take 5 seconds.
Make that promise to yourself. Good. That is a powerful commitment. If you stick to that promise, your linguistic intelligence is going to transform in ways you cannot even imagine.
It truly will.
This has been an absolutely phenomenal discussion. We have totally reframed what it means to learn the language. It is not just memorizing the dictionary. It is mastering the art of structure.
Mastering the art.
It is balancing the grammar so your listener's brain is happy. It is using opposites to make your points crystal clear.
And remember, the world needs to hear your unique ideas. You do not need perfect advanced grammar. You do not need a massive vocabulary. You just need to organize your simple words into beautiful, confident structures.
As we wrap up today, I want to leave you with one final, slightly provocative thought to chew on. We live in an era where artificial intelligence is suddenly everywhere.
Oh, yes.
Large language models are writing essays, passing exams, and holding conversations. Do you know how these AIs sound so impressively human? They do not have souls or feelings. They operate on complex mathematical algorithms that predict the most satisfying sequence of words.
They are essentially calculating the patterns of rhetoric.
Exactly. AI uses the rule of 3. AI uses balanced syntax and anaphora. It relies on the exact same psychological rules we discussed today.
Wow.
But here is the critical difference. AI is just mimicking humanity. When you, as a living, breathing human, master these rhetorical algorithms, you combine structural perfection with genuine human emotion, intention, and lived experience.
That is beautiful.
You become infinitely more powerful than any machine. Mastering rhetoric isn't just about passing an English test. It is about preserving the profound art of human connection.
That is a wonderful thought to end on. You are learning the true algorithms of the human heart.
Let's finish our time together with one last physical vocalization. Let's send you off with a burst of confidence. Wherever you are, stand up a little taller. Take a deep breath.
Deep breath in.
I am going to say a sentence, and I want you to repeat it out loud with absolute certainty. Let your brain hear your voice claim this reality. Repeat after me. I am a confident speaker.
Say it strong.
Let's do it one more time. Let it ring in the air. I am a confident speaker.
Excellent. Thank you so much for exploring the architecture of language with me today. It has been an absolute pleasure.
The pleasure was all mine. And to our listener, thank you for your time, your focus, and your participation. Remember, your voice is a beautiful instrument. Practice playing it for 10 minutes tomorrow. Keep learning, keep speaking, and we will talk to you again very soon. Have a wonderful day.